Thank you, old man Pappie. I don't have to introduce him, I think. Have you heard of old man Pappie? Yes. Okay. He's going to tell himself who he is, what he does, and what he wants to tell you. Okay? And I wonder if he even needs a microphone. Ah! There you have it. Go ahead.
Never heard about Old Man Pappie. Old Man Pappie is a village character. Have you ever heard about Law and Order? Law and Order applied the Demerara Ferry, the Berbice Ferry, and the Essequibo Ferry. And what was one of his things that he used to say? Who know, know. Who it know, can't know. And he had his puppets, and he would judge. Likewise too, Old Man Pappie was a village character. And one of the things that he did was that he was the bell crier. He would go around the village advertising the news. In them days, them days and had nothing smart. I hear you talking a lot about tablet, but when I was a little boy, you talk about tablet is the way you have to drink. Now look at that tablet, all you got there, I can't swallow that. So you see how time changes. And he would go around the village. Now let's say there is a wedding. They would call Old Man Pappie. And this is ideas for animation, in terms of coming up with creative, innovative things that is based on our culture. You remember what the doc said this morning? We can't draw back SpongeBob. I mean to say Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck make America dead, wait dead. But we have our own, so you're having a wedding. And you can call Old Man Pappie, you give you, if you're Hindu, right? You got to give you a little rice. And you're walking around. Neighbor Ramjan daughter getting married to Sati's son. The dirty is Friday. Bride could die up Saturday. Sunday is the wedding. And Monday is Kangang Day. Now, you can go in front of your yard. And it was customary, not manners-less, but very manly, that everybody can come up and listen to Old Man Pappie. And if he come in front of you and he take out the rice and he put it in your hand, you are invited to the wedding. But if you don't get the rice, you're not invited. Stand where you're there and just watch the bride. Likewise too, for funerals. Well, we say funerals, but it's a funeral. And you're like, Old Man Pappie dead. Funeral tomorrow, 4 o'clock. No, I'm drinking tonight. And you would go around advertising. Now the village council would have their meetings and Old Man Pappie would be. And moonlight nights, he would tell stories to the children about the Baku, the moon gazer, the whole hive. Now all these things are scary, but they have origin in our culture. Now the moon gazer is a tall man. Right? Now, people want to know exactly why it's so frightening. But you see, the white plantation owners created these things to drive fear into the hearts of the slaves. And likewise too, on the whole, folklore is not something that is not dandy and beautiful. It's frightening, frightening, frightening. So, 2 o'clock a morning. Dagaba. Oh! Oh! look from the old like America! America! Bird Gazer! Tall! Like one coconut tree with long silver hands and red eyes. You see how me animate them? Good. In 1987, UNICEF paid the man airfare, fly me to Jamaica to an animating session. And in them days, we had to draw frame by frame by frame by frame. Then you had to paint it frames by frame by frame. Now it's your own lucky. Are you lucky? Since smartphone come out, just worked on easy. And don't talk. To get 3 minutes, to get 3 minutes of you have to do 2100 frames. How many are doing it now? Two. Likewise too. So you find that the moon gazer came about to scare the Africans from going into the cane fields, to suckle the cane at night. Because remember, they were slaves and they were not fed enough. So they would go into the back dams, into the cane fields in night to suckle the cane because you had energy. So up came the tall man. The other thing now is tobacco. That has its origin with the Dutch. The Dutch came to Demerara, and these things are historically placed. And having a knowledge of these things can help us to understand who we are and what we're supposed to be doing. So the Dutch came to the Demerara area. Remember, we live in the low coastal belt. But the Dutch, they were good with irrigation. So they were able to irrigate the coastal and plant the sugar cane, and they get rich planting sugar cane. One morning, a pretty Dutch woman said to her dear husband, oh dear, I miss my home. I miss my silk cotton tree. This time of year, the silk from the silk cotton tree would blow in my face and I would be refreshed. So guess what the man loved his wife. So he brought the silk cotton tree to Guyana. And because it's associated with the Dutch, the silk cotton tree now is a Dutch tree because it was brought by the Dutch. It so happened that they made a lot of money, and the English had a falling out with the Dutch. And the Dutch had to flee Demerara. They were so rich, the legend says, they were so rich that they couldn't fetch all the gold. So what they did is that they buried the gold sovereigns. And you know, a sovereign is 21 carats of gold. Not like them things we wear nowadays, 12 carats and that kind of thing, 21 carats. Buried the sovereigns under the silk cotton tree. And they left the Baku to guard it with enough banana and enough milk to keep them going till they came back. But the English, and this is historically factual, did not return Demerara to the Dutch. They kept it for themselves. And the legend now of the Baku grew even more. There you have this little man with bright gold eyes, but now Auntie Mavis mango tree. The news broke up like wildfire. They're back on me. It's moderation, trouble situation in the village boy wishy-washy. It's true what old man Pappie said. The them chaps want enough banana and milk, or else it's botheration, scatteration, and the whole damn village boy wishy-washy. And that's the legend of the tobacco. The Dutchman. Ever heard the legend of the Dutchman killer? And he still cutting tree. Neighbor Ramjan's son want get married to table fly daughter. And he want big barrier. But he not got money. Because estate not grind. But he hear say that how the Dutchman go bury under the silk cotton tree. So he said, me go. Find the Dutchman gold. Bring big barrier for me wife to be. Son sat now listen to you, mama. Now daddy. Now nobody. Early morning he left walking to go to the silk cotton tree. The closer you get to the silk cotton tree, the tobacco start again. But son not understand Dutch. So we go. You see one little hole, he push his hand in the hole. You feel dirty. Kick him aside. You feel clot. You throw him aside. You feel bones. You throw him aside. You feel the Dutchman go. This time the back. He don't understand Dutch. So they grab the goat, but he couldn't get out the hand. Then he heard a voice saying, there is a bigger hole at the top. Climb the tree, and you will get the gold. So you lose that, and you look up, but you forget what people say. That you must not climb no tree 12 o'clock. You see how the legend? Have you ever grown up hearing, don't climb tree 12 o'clock? And don't go up in the tree after 6. So you see these little simple folklore things play integral part in our lives. And as young animators, it is important to cast these life. Animation deals with life. Just taking a stick drawing and bringing it to life takes a lot out of you. But when you look at our environment and you look at our surroundings, there's so much of beauty. There's so much of corruption. There's so much of ills. There's so much of everything is so well balanced. And you only find a little piece of insy good. What do? We look around and we say to ourselves, this is what I want. I believe that we should have dreams. And I should tell you about my dream. Well, you know I have a beautiful daughter. If you don't know, well, handsome fathers create beautiful daughters. And it doesn't stop there. You should see my grandson. The man is a smasher. And you know what they say? They say handsome